trying to ride up over something and fail. A deer? Could I have hit a deer? Deer on the road were a common problem in Virginia, but I had no idea how prevalent they were here and in a snowstorm. Hopefully it wasn't a deer. It made me want to cry thinking about an animal suffering. Maybe I'd just run into a huge snowdrift. I opened my car door, and a burst of wind rushed in, sending a shiver coursing over my body. Thankfully, the scarf Eric gave me the last time I saw him spared me from snow down my collar. I picked my way toward the front, running a hand along my car to keep from slipping. It was clear, as soon as I neared the tire, that I hadn't clipped another vehicle. There wasn't one anywhere nearby. Northerners were probably wise enough not to leave their cars parked on the street during a snowstorm. I rounded the front bumper and froze. A body lay face down in the street. I hadn't hit a deer. I hit a person. Chapter 2. What had I done? I hadn't even seen him. The short hair and size of the body said it had to be a man. He couldn't be dead, could he? My car wasn't going that fast. My legs seemed to have iced over and frozen to the ground. Part of me said I should check him, and the other part said I should call 911 first. I skidded back to my car and grabbed my purse out of the open door. If he were seriously injured, I wouldn't know where to start to help him. I needed to get an ambulance here as soon as possible. The screen on my cell phone glowed to life. No signal. I dialed 911 anyway. The phone beeped in my ear. Useless. I heaved it and my purse back inside the car. Maybe he was dazed, not unconscious. If he could walk, I could get him into the car and drive him to the hospital. That had to be better than leaving him out in the snow while I went for help. I ran back to the front of my car and half fell, half knelt beside him. He lay face first in the snow. "Sir, can you hear me? Are you okay?" I touched a hand to the back of his neck. His skin was warm to the touch. That seemed like a good sign. "Sir?" I didn't dare shake him, and turning him over seemed more dangerous. His back or neck might be injured. Was he even breathing? I pressed my palm to his back, straining to feel any movement. It didn't seem like he was breathing, but perhaps his breaths were too shallow to feel. My hands shook. I lifted his arm from the snow and pressed 2 fingers into his wrist. No pulse. But maybe I wouldn't be able to feel one since his arm had been lying in the snow. He wasn't even wearing a coat. I stripped mine off and laid it over the top of him. I couldn't remember the TV show I'd heard it on, but wasn't there some saying about you weren't dead until you were warm and dead? The snow might be a good thing. It might protect him and give me time to bring help for him. I'd leave my coat. Cold was one thing, hypothermia was entirely another. The snow had lightened a bit more. I squinted against the flakes. The buildings lining the street were businesses, their lights off and signs flipped to closed, but I recognized the fish and chips place, Assault and Battery. It was only a couple blocks over from the police station and a guaranteed landline to call for medical assistance. I climbed back into my car and backed up, navigating around the man in the street. I sent out a prayer that I was making the right choice to leave him and that no one else would run him over in the time it took me to bring back help. I'd started experimenting with prayer after my Uncle Stan died. My parents were agnostic, but Uncle Stan had believed in a higher power. The events of the past few months had shown me clearly that I wanted to be more like him than I was like my parents. Trying the praying thing seemed like an easy way to start, though I'd soon have to decide if I wanted to learn more, because it was getting weird calling whoever I was talking to Uncle Stan's God. My car slid a couple of times on the way to the police station, but I managed to keep it on the road. I parked out front of the station. When I pulled on the station door, it didn't budge. A jolt shot through me like I was falling down a flight of stairs.